how do we actually break down the categories for AI scribes? Because there's definitely like a handful of tools now on the scene, all the way from like the giants at Microsoft and Nuance, all the way to the smaller local startups. Like, what are sort of the differences, and how can somebody actually weigh out their options?
Yeah, sure. I think it so the way we look at the market is obviously a very new market. It's an emerging market, and there are companies that are focusing on the specific parts of the market with the specific requirements. So if you look at Microsoft DAX or Nuance DAX, they are very focused on where their market share was initially, which is like hospitals, large healthcare systems, multi-specialty. Um, we have other AI scribes both in the United States and here in Canada that we are focused in primary care settings. We are even seeing more specializations, mostly in the US, but well, also in Canada now, that are focusing only on mental health, only on physical therapy. So if I often compare the market of AI scribes right now to the market of EMRs 10, 15 years ago when they all started. Like on day one, they all looked the same, exactly the same. And then as the market matured and moved forward, there were a lot of specializations, and you could say, oh, this company is better at this, that company is better at that. And I think that's what we're going to experience in the next few months or year. But right now, majority of the adoption that we're seeing in AI Scribe, at least in Canada, but I think I was reading that it's the same kind of pattern in the US, is that almost 70% of adoption of AI Scribe in Canada is among family physicians and nurse practitioners. I don't think it's too surprising because we know family physicians are the largest group of practitioners in Canada, but also um, the workflows and documentation requirements of family physicians is not as specific as a specialist might be. So, and I think the documentation burden for family physicians was a lot more aggressive than it was for, because what we're seeing in our clinics is that I shouldn't say a lot of time, but there's a higher chance that a specialist would have an assistant helping them with documentation and administrative tasks. But family physicians, for the most part, were not getting any help because the options that were available in the market were not economically reasonable for a family doctor. But yeah, I think majority of what we're seeing is among primary care practitioners. Right after that is mental health. Both psychiatrists and psychologists, even social workers and counselors, which is also surprising and not surprising at the same time. It's kind of understandable.
Well, I'm just picturing, doing a 2 hour psychiatric consult,
Yeah.
right? Where just the engagement and eye contact and things are so important, right? It's even more critical at that point compared to, standard medical visits, right? And
Mhm.
like just the difference it makes of having a tool do the writing for you so you can just 100% be paying attention as opposed to trying to make notes for 2 straight hours.
Yeah.
And how do you tailor your platform to one of these specific markets then? Obviously, like primary care practitioners make up the bulk of them, but it's such a heterogeneous workflow, like you pointed out, right? Like what you do in a day on Monday can be completely different from what you do on Tuesday. So how do you actually like build a platform that caters to an audience that's just so different moment to moment?
I think similar to any other product, the way we look at it is that we need to pick one focus group and really make an excellent product for them before moving to the second group and try to optimize for them. Majority of our clinicians are family physicians, nurse practitioners right now. So obviously, a big part of our focus is to make sure that the product works just flawlessly for them.
I'm Dr. Jordan Valrath, and you've been watching Cherry Live, brought to you by Cherry Health. Please like and subscribe to see more clips like this, or check us out at www.cherry.health. Canada's medical network.